in Kingfield, Maine. Brian's Guitar Rehab and Customs. Yeah, there's just some songs you got to learn for a new guitar, and this is a new guitar for me. 12-string electric, what comes to your mind? I mean, my God, you got the Birds. That starts right in Roger McGuinn. A couple months ago, I went to see Warren Haynes with Government Mule, and before watching much of him, I never even knew Gibson made a 12-string Les Paul. Well, as soon as I saw him play it, I said, man, I want one. I got a bad case of gas. I started looking online. They only made them a couple years, and they're obviously not real cheap. Well, lately, when I get a bad gas attack, I've been finding I just turn around and make something. You look at some of these on the walls, like the Baritone 8-string, and then this Sycamore LOO over here. Those were just gas attacks, and I decided to make a McFarland. And I get a lot of satisfaction, especially when I get to play it afterwards. So I started looking around, and I found this body, and I found this neck, and I matched them up. And this body is a mahogany body. It is multi-piece, obviously, because you can tell by this really cool double cutaway, design I've got on the back. Well, that was, you get lemons, you make lemonade. I sanded through and discovered there was another layer underneath the veneer, so at least I made it symmetrical. The top is a maple cap. It's got some beautiful flame. Look at that when it hits the light just right. It was also pretty thin. I learned that you got to be real careful. The first Les Paul kit I ever made when I was first trying my first build, I sanded right through the top, found the wood underneath. I didn't do that here. I topped this off with some rusted copper lacquer after doing my amber belly, so it's got sort of a rusted flame copper top finish with about 15 coats of clear. Neck on this is a 2-piece maple neck. Maple's really hard, so it'll hold all that 12-string tension. I did kind of a cool black headstock with that volute-shaped point like the Gibson Custom Shop does. I left the sides maple natural. Got my artwork up top there, courtesy of Sam down at Signworks in Farmington, Maine. There's your plug, buddy. The Les Douze, that's the 12. Then I went to town on the guts, and I didn't scrimp. I said, I'm going to make this a custom and not a kit. This is a Gibson 57 Classic. This is a Classic Plus 57. It's got all CTS pots, switchcraft components. Like I said, I'm still waiting on a jack plate down here. That keeps falling out, but that'll be here this afternoon. It's got Tone Pro's tailpiece and stop bar and bridge setup for 12-string. I did cloth braided wire and 50s wiring, so you put the capacitor in 2 different points than in modern style. And what it does, it kind of helps the bleed of the treble. When you turn down the volume, you don't lose your treble. It doesn't get muddy. Then I used Soviet Union era 33 microfarads, cool word, huh? 33 MF capacitors. So 33 is between the 22 and the 47, obviously, the numbers. And from my reading, it turns out you get a pretty bright highs, but then it really rolls off into a nice clear lows. So I can get very, very bright tones. And it will just turn right down and get very soft if I wanted to. So I can get almost an acoustic tone out of this thing. So I'm pretty psyched. I played this thing all day yesterday, and I played every 12-string thong I could think of, back into the vault, and of course I had to go find the old high school tunes and see what I could do. Let's see, what do we got here? Let's see, what else have we got from the high school vault? Of course, you know, Jimmy Page did it first with a 12-string headstock. Of course, he had two heads on his guitar. Sign says no stairway, just play it better, that's all. But anyway, the big thing that really got me going when I was watching Warren is, you know, this slide. I've seen Derek Trucks, and I think Derek took what Dwayne started and just perfected it. Derek Trucks, I think, is the greatest slide guitar player alive right now. But Warren with his 12-string, just the sound you can get from 12 instead of from 6. That's about all you want to hear out of me. But anyway, hey, this is the Douze. It's the 12, made by me, McFarland, Brian's Guitar Rehab and Customs. And this one's not for sale. Not yet, anyway. See ya.